As you see here, Keyshawn the businessman Davis is stating that Edwin de los Santos, Dominican lightweight star title contender, 16 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 14 wins by way of knockout, was scared. He was scared to take the fight with Keyshawn. He didn't want to accept the fight because Edwin de los Santos is 25 years of age. So Edwin de los Santos, according to Keyshawn Davis, now former WBO lightweight superstar, undefeated world champion, who is 13 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age. Keyshawn is saying that Edwin de los Santos was scared to take the fight with Keyshawn. Keyshawn Davis is losing his momentum that he had built up. Keyshawn Davis saying that Edwin de los Santos was scared. That's why he didn't take the fight. No, Edwin de los Santos was smart. That's why he didn't take the fight. He accepted the fight. When you were searching for opponents, when Keyshawn Davis was searching for opponents after he knocked out Gustavo Lemos in the second round, after he knocked out Dennis Baranchyk in the fourth round for the WBO title, and he was looking for his next opponent, Edwin de los Santos reached out to you. He reached out to the world. He called you out and said, don't forget, you said you was going to fight me. What about me? And Keyshawn, in his interview with Cigar Talk and Najee from Cigar Talk, he admitted that he forgot about Edwin de los Santos and he was looking for other opponents, one specific opponent that he offered to make the fight, which I believe is Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and they asked for $8 million for the fight. And they priced themselves out. And Keyshawn admitted on Najee's Cigar Talk when he said, I forgot about Edwin de los Santos. I did tell you I was going to fight you. I ain't going to lie, gang, I forgot. And then I went to legendary promoter, Top Rank CEO, founder, Bob Arum, Hall of Famer, and Top Rank, and advised them to make the fight with Edwin de los Santos, which they did. Edwin de los Santos accepted. Edwin de los Santos made weight. Edwin de los Santos showed up. Edwin de los Santos wasn't scared. Keyshawn Davis missed the contractual obligated weight that was 135 pounds. You came in at 139 and a half pounds. 139.3. That's almost 130. That's almost 4.5 pounds. And then they realized that you said the night before and then the morning of you couldn't make the weight, so you just stopped. But the whole world can see, we understand the sport of boxing. We can see where a fighter attempted to make weight, and when they didn't, you didn't attempt to make that weight. You can see Edwin de los Santos' face is sunk in. Keyshawn Davis on the scale looks very healthy. He don't look like a fighter who was struggling to make weight. He looked like a fighter who decided not to push his body to make the weight. That's what you look like on the scale. You look like a fighter who just decided that they didn't want to make the weight. Edwin de los Santos looked like a fighter who forced himself to make the weight. There's the difference. So he wasn't scared. He was professional. And once he and his team realized, wait a minute, I'm going to get the same money, my entire purse, to not fight you, why would I fight you then? When you was unprofessional and Top Rank is still giving me an opportunity to fight for a title afterwards. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to still attempt to fight for a title. I just don't got to go through you now. Which obviously, even without the weight cut, he was, I believe, going to get stopped and lose. But with the weight cut and the added weight, it was going to be worse for him. And you knew it. There was a massive size difference. Right? Let's look at this. Keyshawn Davis is fully healthy. Look at his face. Look at Edwin Santos' face and body. And look at Keyshawn Davis' face and body. He's fully, his muscles are full. His face is full. Look at Edwin Santos' face and body. It's drained. You see the water still in Keyshawn Davis's muscles. The water's still on his body. He's not drained. Edwin Santos is drained. So therefore, that garnered people like even Bob Arum to say that you didn't even attempt to make the weight. Look at Keyshawn's face, man. Fully healthy. Keyshawn, man, you got to take accountability, bro. You must take accountability. It starts with accountability, bro. You have a child, you a man, it starts with accountability. And you know, I'm one of your biggest fans, your biggest supporters, but I got to call a spade a spade. I got to keep it 100. Edwin Santos wasn't scared. He was smart. He showed up. He got on the scale. He made weight. He came to your city. He accepted the fight. When he thought he was being lowballed and his team didn't give him all the details and he found out, he went back to them and told them to go back to the drawing board and make the fight happen. He wasn't scared. Initially, when he turned it down for the lowball offer, he thought, and then only to come to realize his team, Samson Liquid, they had lied to him about the actual number that Top Rank was giving him. And then he told him to go back to the drawing board, get that number and make the fight. He wasn't scared. He was professional. There's a difference. He showed up in your city. The difference is he didn't have to fight you because he's still going to get his entire purse without fighting you and not taking any punishment and risking his career and his life. So why would he do so? Yes, I understand. You did it when you fought against Gustavo Lemos, and Gustavo Lemos came in at 7 pounds overweight, nearly 7 pounds, and you still accepted the fight, you still took the fight, and you knocked him out in the second round. Kudos, we gave you your credit. We saluted you, right? I mean, even Tim Bradley was saying, people criticized Tim Bradley, but Tim Bradley was saying it wasn't a smart move. You should pull out, right? Okay, you showed that dog. You did it. That don't mean Edwin Santos is supposed to do it. Nobody would have blamed you for pulling out the fight. We would have blamed Gustavo Lemos for being undisciplined and unprofessional. But yes, salute to you, hats off to you that you took the fight. But you can't say Edwin Santos is scared. No, it don't work that way. You got to take accountability. You just got to be like, hey, my fault, man. It's my fault. It is what it is. 4.5 pounds, bro. The next weight class is 140. You came in like you was weighing in at 140, junior welterweight. Period. And Edwin Santos had been on for 2 years, nearly, with health issues. Come on, make it make sense, man. And you already had a size advantage. We got to start making this make sense. He wasn't scared. You was unprofessional, and we got to call a spade a spade. And you should have just tell the fans, hey, listen, you right, man. Guess what? I dropped the ball. Period. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word, because here's what happened. Now moving forward, you're going to fight at 140. And now they're talking about suspending you. Well, guess what? It's going to be hard for people to trust you if you don't take accountability. Period. Period. Promoters, other fighters, they're going to be like, bro, is this dude going to be professional? Is he going to come in on weight? People are not going to normalize missing weight and still accepting fights because everybody would do it. It would set a precedence. Yes, kudos to Keyshawn Davis for doing it against Gustavo Lemos. I give him nothing but credit. The whole boxing world gave him credit for doing it. And then dominating Gustavo Lemos. The whole boxing world gave him credit for it. But we can't make that the norm because then everybody would do it. I miss weight. He going to be pressured to fight me anyway. No, see, that's what happened. You thought he was going to do the same thing you did. You put the carriage before the horse, and he didn't do it. Because his team found out that you didn't even attempt to make the weight. When they had to drain themselves and sacrifice to make the weight, and you didn't even attempt, and then you was laughing about it, they was like, no, we gonna get our pay anyway? No, let the egg be on his face. And it is. And that's all I got for y'all. Salute. It's your boy Blue. I'm gone. Peace.